Hello and welcome to the Duluth News Tribune's Bulldog Insider podcast. I'm your host, Matt Wellens, the Bulldogs hockey beat reporter at the News Tribune.
And I'm Zach Schneider, the television voice of Bulldogs hockey on My 9 Sports.
We have 2 episodes left before we take a holiday break. We won't be releasing episodes on Christmas Day because we think you should spend time with your family instead of listening to us. And we won't be releasing an episode on New Year's Day because I don't think our voices will help with your hangover. So these next 2 episodes, we're going to preview the upcoming 2026 World Junior Championship in Minnesota. Amsoil Arena will be hosting the United States, Finland, and Germany for pre-tournament camps and games in Duluth between December 15th and the 23rd. And then the Twin Cities is hosting the main event, the World Juniors, December 26th through January 5th. Joining us on the podcast today is one of 2 current Bulldogs who are part of Team USA. He was part of the 2025 American team that won gold. Welcome back to the podcast. Now a sophomore, defenseman Adam Kleber.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Thanks for coming on, Adam. And we're recording episodes back to back. Adams is running the week that we're actually recording it. We're going to have Max on later this afternoon. And Adam, you and Max, back on the team together. You guys were on there last year. You won gold. We were just saying one of the cool things about this team, future Bulldog, Proctor kid, AJ Riles is going to be on the team as well. We asked you this last week at the press conference after the roster came out, but give us your first impressions of the 2026 roster and what it kind of features.
Yeah, I guess starting with Riles, I know Max was talking about like a couple months earlier. He was like, yeah, the way Riles is playing out in the dub, he might make the team. So it's pretty cool to see him on the team. Guy from Proctor who's committed to the Bulldogs here in the next couple of years. So that's cool to see. But yeah, as far as the team, I think 9 returning guys. So a little bit of experience there and just a lot of skill and a lot of depth, I think.
Max has mentioned this, and I asked you about it at the press conference, and you said it too. There's a lot of this team There's a lot of members from the 2018 from the U18 team that lost to Canada in the U18 Worlds, and people wondering like, is the U.S. going to be just as hungry for gold coming off of gold? But there's a lot of kids on this roster. 9 returnees that won gold last year, but there's a lot of kids that haven't won a gold at the World Juniors, and there seems to be a bit of a revenge factor on this team, right?
Yeah, I think for those guys that were on the program team, the 06 group, they lost to Canada in that championship game. So just like kind of seeing the hunger off of those guys and kind of wanting to get their revenge, it rubs off on me and I think the younger guys too. And the younger guys at the program, the 07s, like who are going to be on the team, they see that and they also didn't win their tournament. So I think they're hungry too to kind of help push and kind of hopefully get us a gold.
You might not be mentally there yet, but how does this year compare for you? Last year being new to the team and chasing that first gold medal, and this year being part of the group that's trying to win another one. How does that compare for you going into this year's tournament?
Yeah, I think last year you're kind of just you're not sure what your spot's going to be, or you're not sure what your role is going to be. I guess you know what your kind of role is going to be based on how you play, but you're not sure if you're going to make the team or not. And not to say like, going into this year, you're going to be on the team, but it's a little bit of a different feeling, just kind of knowing that you got to get your game up to a certain level to be able to kind of play how you did last year. So, yeah, you just kind of know a little bit more what to expect and kind of have a bit more of a feel for what happened last year and kind of how to, maybe win and use that to your advantage.
How similar was it to being a freshman at UMD where you came in and it was so new and everything that you did was for the first time and then you go to World Juniors and that stage gets a little bit bigger, but how do those two things compare to you last year and then maybe this year having more of an idea of what you're getting into in both spaces?
Yeah, both things are new. It's cool to experience new things like that, and like you're coming in Duluth and you see some older players and you're really excited to kind of get to meet them and see how they operate and see what they do on a day-to-day basis. And then same thing with World Juniors, you're seeing and meeting a lot of top players like Boyum and Leonard and Pro, and it's kind of cool just to build relationships with those guys and see how they operate and see what they do in practice and just how elite they are.
Preview the roster a little bit for us. Who are some of the guys, who are some of the top guys, fans that are going to be coming to the games here in Duluth? Who should they watch out for? Who should they know about?
Cole Hudson, probably one of the best.
May have heard of him.
Yeah. D in the country. He's just so offensively gifted with the puck. Can just do so many things. Great edges. Another guy, I'd say Trevor Connolly has been playing in the AHL this year. I think he's another really skilled guy. So those are probably two guys to watch out for.
What's it like playing on a team? There's such a diverse, everyone's kind of coming from different spots. You got Conley, who's already in the AHL, made the jump to pros. Got a lot of college guys. You got some guys like Riles, who's playing in the Western Hockey League, playing junior hockey. What's that like, getting that blend of players together?
Yeah, I think everyone kind of knows each other, though. Hockey's a small world. Like everyone playing at the program knows each other, and just so many camps. Like I know Riles and I, we were on the Northern Plains team for a U17 camp in Buffalo one year for national camp. So, I mean, I've never played with him, in a regular season, but, in a summer camp like that, I've met him before, and everyone's got a good feel for everyone. We all met each other at the summer showcase, so that tournament kind of helps get those relationships started, and so we're not just kind of going to this, blinded. Everyone kind of can put a name to a face and just be ready to go.
What do you see your role being on this year's? Zach kind of alluded to it. You kind of brought up, what do you see your role being on the 2026 World Junior team compared to maybe what it was in 2025?
Similar to last year, just try to be hard to play against, probably play with a guy who's more offensively gifted and try to complement him and, give him the freedom to jump up in the rush and make a lot of plays and just kind of be sturdy and be that backbone and that, last line of defense to just help out the team in that way. And for me, it's always just trying to shut down other teams' top players and not let them score. So that's the biggest thing.
So similar to your role at UMD here, you'd say, right?
Yeah, pretty much the same.
Making Ty Hansen look good.
What goes into the off the ice part at World Juniors? Scott Sandlin has coached this team, and he says that one of the most important things for him is to get the group together off the ice. I mean, obviously all you guys are talented hockey players, and every country that you play against is going to have good hockey players. But in that 2.5 weeks, what do you guys do to kind of bond together? You're coming from all these different areas. Some of you are rivals during the college season. How do you get together for that 2.5 weeks to chase the gold medal together?
Yeah, one of the things last year, we did Secret Santa. So we all went to a mall and got each other gifts, and we did that. I mean, the team does a great job of kind of giving us things to do. I forget all the stuff we did last year, but I know we went to different places just to hang out. And like even in the summer too, on off days for summer showcase when we're not practicing, like I remember in Michigan, our first year, like we went to Dave & Buster's. So things like that just to get to know each other. And one of the equipment managers, Stan Wong, he puts on the Santa Claus outfit and kind of has everyone come up, and he asks us a couple questions, and it kind of just gets all the guys laughing and stuff like that. So just the little things like that kind of get the guys to loosen up and just have fun over break.
So you guys did the Secret Santa last year on the team. Was it all gag? Did you guys all just get each other gag gifts, or was there actually some thought put in there with some of you guys?
No, they were pretty good gifts. Like I got a nice sweatshirt, and I think I got a guy like a nice shirt, just kind of like a cool design shirt. So they're good gifts.
Is there a teammate out there that you're like, oh man, I hope he doesn't get my name because he's going to try and like gag me on here or something like that?
I don't know. Not on that team, but maybe on our team for Duluth, maybe Brady Cleveland, he might get me something crazy. I don't know. So hope they don't.
Brady Cleveland's not who you want getting your name on Secret Santa at UMD. Your season at UMD, Adam, I thought you've been really good. I think I told this to Bruce once. When I'm watching a game, when I see Adam Kleber with the puck, I'm very comfortable. I'm like, I don't have to worry about anyone's going to turn it over, as opposed to sometimes when Adam Guyon has the puck. He had a couple instances at Western where I'm like, oh my God, what's Guyon going to do? What's he think he's going to do? He's wouldn't you agree, Zach? He's showing some Alex Stalock out there at times.
I mean, who's his goallie coach, right?
His goalie coach is Brant.
Rubs off on everyone. So,
Brant runs out. Yeah, Brant was also one of those guys. But you're a guy that you're very confident with the puck. You're a smooth skater. How have you seen yourself kind of develop from freshman to sophomore year? You and I had talked in the summer about how you were really looking, take bigger roles and such.
Yeah, just it's a long summer, and I think just getting first year under my belt and kind of just knowing the things I want to work on and trying to practice those in the summer. You get it's like 7 months in the summer to practice, so it's a long time just to get stronger and work on all those things. So I think just being a little bit stronger, being more confident, more comfortable out there, just kind of allowed me to keep the puck on my stick a little more. And there's still a lot of room to grow and a lot of things I want to get better at. So I'm excited to just keep improving in those areas.
Yeah, if you looked at my pacemaker, it'd be like, oh, when Guyon has the puck, everything's level. Or when Kleber has the puck, everything's level.
Yeah.
What's with the anomaly? Oh, that's when Guyon decided to race out to the blue line to try and tackle someone.
What's the official? You grew a lot over the summer, and we've teased you a little bit. You showed up, and it felt like we were looking up another foot. But I mean, you added at least a couple inches over the summer, right?
I don't know. I don't think so. Maybe a little bit.
Yeah, you did.
I think you're taller and bigger. But going into the question here, are you still kind of like? I feel like bigger guys, even as they get to college, like especially defensemen, like we watched it with Brendan Kotick and like these bigger Carson Soucy, even like. It takes a while to kind of even grow into it, and you're still growing. Are you more comfortable being kind of like the big guy as you get deeper into your career?
I guess so, yeah. Just being more comfortable with like your game, and kind of they see bigger guys as like those defensive guys, and just kind of being more comfortable with playing that style and just being okay with that's the game you got to play to make it to the NHL, and just kind of being really good at those details that make a strong defensive defenseman.
Adam, the World Juniors. When you look at this year's tournament, what do you wish? As you look at this one, having gone through it now, what do you wish you knew then that you know now? Like, well, what's the biggest? Where does it? I've heard a lot that experience plays a huge role in this tournament. So tell me, what is it about the tournament that you know now that maybe you and your teammates wish you guys knew a year ago?
Well, I remember last year when Max and I made the team, I know Dom texted us, and he just said there's no easy game in this tournament. And then we played Finland in exhibition, and I think we beat them like 5-2 or something. And then our third game of the tournament, we lost them in overtime. And then in the gold medal game, we played them again, and it was 3-1 going in the third, or going in late in the second, and then we tied it up 3-3, and then obviously we won 4-3. So I just think like it's kind of true what Dom said. After we beat Finland 5-2, we probably like, all right, like if we play our game, like we can beat this team, like, but shown later in the tournament, like things get tighter, and anybody can beat anybody. So that was kind of proven with them beating us in overtime, and then us beating them in overtime later game.
So Dom was right. Was the lesson there? But it's interesting how the tournament can evolve and such, and it's tough because it's one and done, right?
Like even last year, like Latvia beat Canada, in their own barn. So anything can happen.
With Team USA, you've gotten to play for rival coaches of the Bulldogs here. David Carl last year, the head coach at Denver, and then you're with Minnesota's Bob Motzko this year. Let's start and compare those two. Is it different playing for Motzko compared to Carl from last year?
Well, with Motzko for the summer showcase, first couple of games he was more in the stands, kind of observing. So there wasn't much coaching necessarily in terms of like being in the locker room and like in-game stuff. So it's kind of hard to compare there. But there were a couple games, like the last two games, I think he was more coaching and giving us a couple words of advice, things like that. But with Carl, he's just such a great in-game manager. I know a lot of like the forwards last year were just talking about how good he is at kind of just like who to put out and who to throw in certain situations. And he kind of just makes the game really simple on what we need to focus on and kind of the plan we need to execute to go out and win.
Does the plan vary coach to coach, or does Team USA kind of have a style or a system that these coaches are kind of like? Is Carl bringing what he does at Denver and Motzko bringing what he does at Minnesota to you guys, or is it kind of more systematic than that?
I think there's kind of a style of USA hockey. Like I think they always say just play hard, smart, fast type thing. But I think every coach brings their own unique blend of what they got. Like Carl saying before every game, like he would come in the locker room and he'd always give us like 3 things to focus on for the game. Like if we take care of these 3 things or something like that, we're gonna usually have success. Or I know he had like he had 5 kind of check boxes or markers of kind of that would determine success, like power play, penalty kill, like special teams, face-offs, battles, things like that. So every coach kind of has their unique thing that they bring in, but I think USA Hockey also kind of has their kind of expectations of how they want the team to play.
How does it compare playing for Scott Sandelin? How does David? We'll go. You've had more experience with Carl at this tournament. It sounds like so far than Bob. How different is it from playing for Scott?
A little bit, I'd say. I don't know. Sandy, I feel like he's more about just like compete and battles, and maybe not so much system focus, but kind of just like I said, like a lot of it is about compete and battles and making sure you're ready to go, and a lot of it stems from that for him.
And David Carl's more of the tactical?
More tactical, yeah, systematic type coach.
The tournament last year was in Ottawa. This year it's in your home state of Minnesota. How different do you anticipate this experience being here in Minnesota versus Ottawa?
I guess different in terms of the fans. I'm expecting some loud buildings. I mean, that would just be a dream to just score in front of that crowd.
And not be ferociously booed by Canadians.
Yeah. I know when Canada scored to tie it up 1-1 in the fourth game we were playing, when we were playing Canada, it was so loud, and they were singing their goal song, and just to, have that for us now, that would be really exciting to just hear that.
You haven't done it in front of a home crowd yet, but just pulling on the jersey for the first game and then getting to the gold medal game, going through the pregame and the introductions. How does that compare, that experience, to anything else you've done? You've played in big games, other places around your career, but has this kind of been the pinnacle so far, that tournament last year?
Yeah, 100%. It's so exciting just to, be able to throw on that jersey, to know, like, I remember the night before just like not being able to, go to bed, just thinking like tomorrow you could win a gold medal. So, I mean, it's super exciting, and yeah, it's awesome to be able to be in that spot and play in those games.
Did you play in the state tournament when you were in high school before you left?
No.
Okay. Max did, so I'm curious his just younger Max at the X. And
no, I've never played at Grand Casino Arena now, I guess.
Yeah, right.
I still like the X though.
It's going to be called the X.
Now our podcast is going to get fined.
Yeah, they're not a sponsor of the podcast. If Grand Casino in Hinckley would like to sponsor the podcast, so we call it the right name, come on down. Are you a home or a road guy? It's interesting talking. Some players get really excited, jacked up for playing in front of road crowds. If this was pro wrestling, you'd call them a heel. They live off the booze. Are you a home or a road guy? Which do you prefer? Is there kind of advantages to both, or?
I mean, I think last year probably more of an away guy, just because you're seeing buildings for the first time. Like you play at the Ralph or honestly like Mullet Arena and ASU, like that was really exciting in playoffs. Or after we played there, in December, I was excited to go back in playoffs because it was just a great atmosphere there. So I think a little bit of the road last year, but maybe this year now it's appreciate more just being at home and being in front of the fans and just winning a little bit more. So it's more, comfortable being at home, knowing that we got a little bit more fan support there. And so, yeah.
Tangent here, since we just got back from Kalamazoo. Did the Lawson Lunatics, you feel like live up to your live up to their reputation this weekend?
No, not really. I mean, they were chanting, they're calling Brady, what they always call him. So I was expecting that, and that lived up to what I heard. But I thought they'd be a little bit louder. I thought the building would be a little more, I don't know, just a little more buzz. But I think after we won the first game pretty handily, then they kind of left, and that doesn't always help, when they're losing there.
Yeah, I think they also had a lot of students that went to Detroit for their football conference championship game as well. I would say they were a little toned down.
It didn't look on TV like it was the
Saturday. There were not Saturday. It was not full, and maybe on Friday the building wasn't full on Friday either. Which again, noon game. People might have gotten a head start trying to go to Detroit, more so to just avoid the snow, because we got a decent amount of snow in Grand Rapids while we were there. I know some people, we've learned through this podcast, they're a fan of being on the road because of the less distractions. Sometimes there's less pressure. I'm wondering, have you thought of, for you, Guy, are you a home, prefer to be in your own bed, or are you someone that kind of likes being on the road because there's less distractions? I know as a beat writer, I kind of like being on the road in terms of a work perspective because I don't have to worry about the family life. Not that I don't love my family and everything, but you can just focus on doing a job. You don't have everything else around you and such. Have you guys has Team USA thought about that aspect of the World Juniors? You're going to have a lot more family, possibly a lot more outside distractions than you may have had in Canada.
Yeah, I mean, I've thought about that. Just, some people maybe texting for tickets or things like that, just like a little bit of distractions here and there. But I think once, we get in that hotel and it's just you and, your teammates, then everything kind of goes away and you're so focused on just one goal. And they do a really good job of just, making sure that everyone on that team, feels included and feels like a team. So you got all your brothers there that you need. And at the end of the day, you're not going to be too worried about, what other people are doing or saying or, things like that.
How good do you have to be at dealing with distractions? I mean, here we are. You play this weekend against Arizona State with UMD, and we're doing an entire podcast.
Western Michigan.
No, he's playing Arizona State.
At Arizona State this weekend, yeah.
They're at home, Matt.
They're at home
I know
this
the schedule.
week. I thought you were
Don't
saying
make
coming
fun of
after
me.
the Western schedule.
You have 2 more games with UMD before World Juniors, and here we are doing an entire podcast with you about World Juniors. You mentioned Ryan Leonard, Zeev Buyum, guys that you played with last year. They're in the NHL. Like, you and Max are both high draft picks. You've got that to worry about. How good do you have to be, with where you are to just deal with the distractions and go out and play your best? Like, how do you manage that every time you go out and play?
Well, I try to stay off social media. I mean, that's kind of a big thing they say around this time. Like, try to just not look at, what's going on, with the outside noise. I think when it comes to, your season right now, you're just focused on that. And then once it comes time for World Juniors, then you're focused on that. And then you're not really focused on all the other stuff after that because, you just want to live in the moment. Like, this could be the last time, you're putting on the USA jersey. So you kind of just want to soak it up and not want to be worrying about other stuff. You just kind of want to live in the moment and appreciate everything you're given.
All right, we are going to take a short break. When we come back, we'll have more with Adam. You're listening to the Bulldog Insider podcast, brought to you by the News Tribune's limited podcast series, Edmund Fitzgerald, 50 Years Below.
You know the name. You've heard the song. You know the number. 29 men were lost when the Edmund Fitzgerald was overcome by the gales of November 50 years ago. But do you know the rest of the story? The Duluth News Tribune has been close to this story from the beginning, and now we're looking back as the world marks a half-century since the wreck of the Edmund Fitzgerald. In this limited podcast, we will tell the story of the Fitzgerald from its launch to its loss, and we will also explore its legacy. Edmund Fitzgerald, 50 Years Below, will be released in 5 episodes this fall, starting October 13th and leading up to November 10th, 2025. Watch DuluthNewsTribune.com for articles, images, and videos that expand the story.
Welcome back to the Bulldog Insider podcast, brought to you by Edmund Fitzgerald, 50 Years Below. You can listen to the entire series on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube, or wherever you listen to podcasts. You can support all of the Duluth News Tribune's podcasts by visiting DuluthNewsTribune.com. Subscribe and check out all the content we have there, including the new Bulldog Insider podcast bonus segment we just recorded during the break. It's our question of the week. This week's question is, what is your dream NIL deal? Check out that video at DuluthNewsTribune.com. So in addition to answering that, Adam, we were talking about, I brought this up on the last podcast, the Chipotle. If you win gold medal with Team USA, you get the what is it, basically 52 free meals at Chipotle, yep. Right? You have not used all of them, huh? You still got the 4 left?
Yep, got 4 left, yeah.
So if anyone wants some listening to the podcast and You got sick of, did you get sick? Be honest, you got sick of Chipotle after so long, couldn't eat Chipotle once a week for an entire year?
Yeah, especially when it's in Hermtown, you got to make that drive over. It's like, I don't really want to go there anymore.
It's not really in a convenient location
Yeah.
out by the mall there, right? Because you're kind of like Triangle is between Amsoil Arena.
Yeah.
If it was somewhere between campus and Amsoil, maybe you hit it up a few more times, right?
Yeah, they'd probably be gone by now.
Was that a one-time thing? Do you know? Is that going to be a thing again if you win another gold medal here in a couple weeks?
As long as Chipotle is still the sponsor, yeah, I think it's the same thing.
Okay. So you're going to win gold, and then you're going to have another year. You're going to have 52 more.
Yeah, hopefully share them a little bit more.
I was going to say, your teammates didn't like raid you guys. You didn't have a teammate that was hitting you up for Chipotle every time?
I mean, they do, and I'll be like, all right, you drive, and they'll be like, all right, I don't want to drive. It's all the way in Hermantown. So I'm like, all right, you're lost.
I want free Chipotle, but not that bad.
Yeah, all right, just hop in the car and drive me there. And they're like, no.
Yeah, I often think about that, like the Duluth Culver's location too. It's over by the mall there. It's like tough. I love Culver's. I can't eat it anymore for health reasons. Well, I shouldn't have ate it as much as I did before for health reasons. Maybe that's why I got in the situation I did. But like, it's in a tough location. It's like, yeah, I'll find something else that's more convenient. So anyone wants free Chipotle, Adam still got some. He'll hook you up with burritos there. Before we get into some audience questions, one more World Juniors question. You got to play last year in Canada. This year you got to play in the U.S. You'll have exhausted your eligibility. So in the future with Team USA, whether it's an Olympics or a World Championship, where would you like to play? Where would you want to go play in the world with Team USA?
I don't know, maybe somewhere in Europe, maybe. I don't know. I hear Switzerland's nice. I honestly, I don't really know. Maybe Switzerland. I guess that's where I hear a lot of nice things about. I know Zam's going there. I think right, Davos for
Zam
his tournament
and Guyon are going to Switzerland for the Spangler Cup.
He was saying it's really nice there, so I mean maybe there. I don't know.
The women get to play. They're going to Ireland over the a lot of international travel. As I've already complained to Zach, I have a lot of time zones to figure out over the holidays, and I won't be in my traditional time zone, so I'm going to be even more messed up on when everything is happening. A lot of international competition going on over the holidays here, even though we won't be recording the podcast. The women that are playing in Ireland, some of them are going to be possibly heading to Italy with Team Canada. I'm wondering, one unique thing that they're going through over on that side is they have to juggle. They're going back and forth. The World Juniors, the Spangler Cup. You guys don't get pulled away. Have you talked to any of them about their international obligations? There's the Europeans who are also going back and forth between Europe and the U.S. Have you talked to them what they're going through with their international competitions?
I haven't, but I mean I can imagine. I mean that's pretty hectic. I know I have Kramer. She's in one of my classes, and I know she's been gone quite a bit just for travel, I'm sure. And that would be a lot just to manage. School and Duluth, and then Canada for them. I mean, yeah, that'd be pretty hard to manage.
I want to skip ahead here because I see Matt has one of the audience questions is, does the World Juniors put any more strain on your body in the physical portion with these extra games and extra work that you put in over the holiday break? But is that a problem? You're young and you're in shape, but is that more the issue, or is it the mental strain of going back and forth and all that stuff? Which one is harder for you?
Probably just physical. I mean, when it comes to like the mental side of it, like it doesn't really feel like a burden just because it's something you've wanted to do since your whole life, since you've been a child. So it doesn't really feel like you're away from your family during Christmas, like you're with a new family for Christmas. So it's not really a burden mentally. And so I guess the only thing would be physically, but kind of like what I was saying, it's a dream. So you don't really, if you have a bruise or something, like it's not gonna stop you.
Noah Cates went through this when he was at UMD. He went and played. He left the team during the season to go play in the Olympics. This was when the NHL wasn't going over there. I don't know. There's some strains.
They might not go.
There's some strains going on right now with the Olympic rink.
You might get to play in Italy.
Yeah. Would you consider that if Team USA came to you, and this is clearly hypothetical because I think the NHL, it's probably too late for them to pull out of the Olympics at this point, unless things really get messed up with the rink construction in Italy there. Would you ever consider doing like maybe what Kramer and Ev Gascon are possibly doing, what Noah Cates did as a Bulldog, leaving the team to go play in the Olympics?
I mean, obviously, yeah. I mean, that's just wild to think about, you know. Like, I feel like I shouldn't even be talking about this because, you know, it's like a guy like me, you know, like, and you got NHL players, like, it kind of seems really far fetched. So, but I mean, yeah, that'd be really cool.
We love the Bulldogs. We want to see them do well, but don't say no to that if they ask.
Oh, of course not.
Can't say no to the Olympics.
It's kind of crazy that, like, they actually had that, you know, like college guys actually playing the Olympics. It's kind of crazy to think about.
Yeah, it was crazy, and they had to go all the way over to China, which we all found out later was a whole different animal and tough to recover from. We're gonna go into the audience questions here, and we're gonna skip ahead right to the question that Zach brought up because I thought it was a really good question submitted by Troy on Twitter. Does the World Juniors put a strain on your body? How does that impact? What did you learn last year coming back from Canada and then coming back to the Bulldogs? Because everyone else, well, not everyone else, a lot of the teams has international obligations here over the break, but most players are getting breaks here over the holidays. You guys are going to keep grinding. You go right from that Arizona State series, you and Max, into World Junior camps.
Yeah. I guess last year is actually a little different because we played ASU on the 6th and 7th, and then that week I kind of had a week of just working out and skating with a guy back home. So it was kind of a little bit of a mental reset, even though I'm still, you know, I'm not like with the team and I'm not doing all the day-to-day activities, so it's kind of a mental reset there. So I felt pretty fresh going into that. But as far as like the mental strain, I don't know, you get used to, or physical strain, you get used to wearing a visor again. Last year I got hit a couple times in the face and like my mouth was kind of messed up a little bit. I forget what it's called, but the thing where you got to like put salt and kind of gargle it around. What's that called?
I don't know what it's. I know what you're talking. Yeah, you put a little.
I couldn't eat it. It just hurt so bad to like put food and chew and I don't know, whatever that's called. But yeah, I got hit and just getting used to wearing a visor again. I mean, you can get a couple pucks or elbows there. So, but yeah, I mean, physical strain. I guess it keeps you ready to go for the second half of the season, so that's nice rather than kind of just, you know, having too many cookies over Christmas and then having to kind of abruptly, you know, get back into it. It's kind of nice to just kind of, you know, keep that even state and be ready to go for the second half.
It's so different than the schedule you keep during a college season, right? Because you stack all those games into those 2 weeks. I mean, I know you just said putting on the jersey anytime is going to be an honor. You're going to be ready to go. But is that a challenge in itself, just to play so many meaningful games in such a short period of time during this tournament? Maybe
a little bit, I guess. Like, you're out of your routine. You know, you're playing back-to-backs and then having a rest day and then playing the next day. So, I mean, that's a little bit different. Like, the workouts are different, but honestly, it's kind of just like a change of pace. So that's kind of exciting. Like, it's something new for 2 weeks than what you've been doing. So, I mean, it's kind of easy to enjoy it when you're looking at it from that perspective.
Sure.
I hear you mentioned you guys get to wear visors for the World Juniors as opposed to the cages or bubbles in college. Are you just used to like cages and bubbles now? Which do you prefer? I hear a lot of there was a point where like hockey players were begging the NCAA to get rid of the cages and bubbles, and now I never hear anyone complain too much about them. What do you prefer?
Visors look better, but I mean, cages protect you more, I guess. So just enjoy the couple years left where I got a cage, and then, but I think I like visors better. You know, you're able to talk more and more freely. So
yeah, I feel like all it takes is maybe getting hit in the mouth like you did once, and then all of a sudden you appreciate the cages and the bubbles a little more.
100%, yeah.
Do you notice, this is maybe too deep a question, but oftentimes we talk about, when we talk about cages in college, sometimes guys take liberties that they wouldn't take if they just had visors on. Do you notice a difference in the physicality or the way the guys play from when you're all wearing cages to just visors?
Not necessarily. I don't know. Like, I feel like watching the NHL, like, there's so many guys getting clipped in the chin or whatever, and I feel like in college, like, even if we had visors, like, there wouldn't be that, you know, many infractions or whatever. I feel like it's just kind of the NHL. Like, it's so much more, I don't know, guys are getting their sticks up, and I don't know. I think it's kind of the same. I think it just depends on the league necessarily.
Sure.
All right. The other question Troy had, and I was asking him to submit for both you and Max, but I don't know who he's comparing to. Who likes fishing more, and who was your best fishing partner last summer?
Between me and Max?
I don't know if that's for both you and Max, but that was his question.
Oh, I mean, I'm terrible at fishing. So,
You're terrible at fishing?
I mean, I just started fishing this summer, and I went to Franny's house a couple times, so he was teaching me the ropes, and this summer we were at Max's cabin, and he was saying that, I'm going to get you fish. I know all these spots or whatever, didn't catch a single thing. And everyone else was catching fish, so, I mean... Yeah.
So Max, not a good fishing partner?
Bad tour guide.
Bad tour guide?
We were going to some good spots. I wasn't getting lucky, so.
Or he wasn't showing you the good. Like, that would be the signs of a real fisherman, is not giving away their secret spots.
Yeah, I guarantee you when he's on the podcast, he's going to talk about his muskie that he caught with Will Francis this summer.
Will Francis is pretty good, isn't he?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, he's legit, yeah.
So other guys in the boat were catching fish at the spots you went to, just not you?
Yeah.
Okay, so you just got an unlucky...
Just an unlucky day, yeah.
I think they set you up with bad bait.
Just wasn't beginner's luck, I guess. I don't know, didn't have any of that.
I mean, I'll be honest. I have no idea what I'm using for lures. I'm just like, that looks cool. That may or may not work. I'm a horrible fisherman as well.
Yeah, no, I just blame my father-in-law if I don't catch any fish, because he tells me what to do and where to go.
And doesn't work out?
I mean, if it does, he gets the credit, but if it doesn't, he gets the blame. Okay, for sure. It's not my fault. I'm just putting it where he wants me to.
You're being fair to him. Okay, Bruce Siski, our friend Bruce from KDAL says, we need to ask you specifically where your gold medal is from 2025. Is there a story behind this?
Yeah, well, over the summer, I was just like, all right, I just want to put the gold medal away. I don't want to be thinking about it. I don't want to be satisfied with it. I just want to, hopefully focus on the next one. So I just put it in my dresser, and then I was back home for Thanksgiving, and my parents have been getting new carpet in my brother's room and my room, and I just kind of opened up my drawer just to check, make sure,
just make sure it's still there.
Yeah. And then I didn't see it there. And I'm like, I don't know, I started freaking out. Did the people who were doing the carpet, were they snooping around or something or whatever? And then I was just like, oh, my mom probably took it. So then I texted her, and she's like, yeah, I'm sorry. I moved it somewhere just in case or something. Or I think they were moving the dresser out, and she just kind of opened and saw it. So I don't know. But yeah, I kind of had a little bit of a panic attack there, but all good now, I guess.
I think we've all had that in life where you put something somewhere and mom decides, I'm going to clean your room. Especially if you're like me and your mom was obsessive compulsive about cleaning things, or look in your drawer and notice I just stuff clothes back in a drawer. I don't fold him. That would extremely bother her.
Yeah.
Growing up.
Yeah. To be clear, I'm not going to keep the gold medal in my dresser. It'll probably get hanged up or put somewhere nice, but that was just for the summer.
Just for the summer.
Keep it out of mind, yeah.
Mom couldn't handle it, huh? She was freaked out because it was in there. All right, some rapid fire to close this out. Best Christmas present, since we're recording this as we approach the holidays here. Best Christmas present you ever got as a kid?
I was a big fan of Lego or Lincoln Logs.
Oh, okay.
When I was younger, so my grandma, I think, got me a couple of those. So probably some Lincoln Logs, just stuff to build with.
What's the one thing you asked Santa for that you never got? What's the present that got away? I always asked my parents after my dog died in 5th grade, and every year after that I asked for a dog, and no, Santa never brought us a dog. Then I moved out of my parents' house, and now I'm on dog number 2.
Yeah, I mean, I've never gotten a dog for Christmas. I mean, I've always wanted a dog, I guess. Yeah, maybe a dog. I don't know.
A dog?
I'm not really sure. My parents were pretty good at, getting me gifts. And my grandma, she always, if my parents didn't cover any of the gifts, my grandma would always swoop in and, be the grandma getting all the gifts. Yeah.
That is the key for kids. When mom and dad say no, go ask grandma.
I was volunteering at Fickers this weekend with the Santa so the kids can come by and sit on his lap. And every kid that asked for a dog, the parent was just standing nearby. You could see them just roll their eyes.
Yeah, I think one year I asked for an iPad, and my dad's like, no, and I was probably pretty young, 7 or something, and then next day for Christmas, I got an iPad. It's my grandma. My dad didn't like that one.
Yeah, every parent, as Zach and I are parents, you give that look to your parents or parents and the in-laws, and it's that you watch for the dirty look between.
Grandparents are not the same people that we grew up with.
Yeah.
They've changed over the years.
Right, yeah, because you've asked your parents, and that'll happen someday, Adam, is something you asked your parents for, they will then give your grandkids. No questions asked, none at all. So that's a lesson for kids. Don't necessarily ask Santa, ask grandma for the gift.
Yeah.
Also, I'll preface, giving a dog for a lot of the humane societies will advise, like, don't give pets for Christmas. It's not advised. It's an investment. But as a kid, you don't realize that. You just want a dog. Who in your family gives the best gifts besides grandma? Who's the goat? Who's the goat of that? Is there someone that notorious for it?
I feel like my mom gives the most gifts.
Yeah.
But my dad, he'll give a gift and be like, "Oh, that's a nice gift." But I don't know. I mean, both of them combined, they give pretty good gifts. So
who's the star? Or we mentioned Brady Cleveland. That's the guy to watch out for if you're opening about who on the team would you want picking your name for Secret Santa?
I feel like, last year I had Stacks, and he got me a nice shirt. So he's a good guy. I feel like Fish, Braden Fisher, he would just give me a good solid gift. So
yeah.
But if I had Brady Cleveland, he'd just be trying to pull a prank on me or just give me a joke of gift. That's kind of who he is. Just try to get a big laugh out of it.
Are you a Christmas Day or Christmas Eve person?
Probably Christmas Eve. All the anticipation going into the next day.
Zach, how about you?
We were always Christmas Day because my sister was born on Christmas Eve. So that was her birthday, and then Christmas waited until Christmas Day. So
that's a bummer.
We talking about opening up gifts, or
opening up gifts, or I'm with you. I like Christmas Eve, the anticipation and everything. I feel like once you get past the opening gifts on Christmas Day, it's kind of like,
Yeah, I think we'd open up one gift on Christmas Eve, and it was always like new pajamas or something for a couple of years, just to wear them, and then all the other gifts the next day.
Did your mom or dad force you guys to take the corny Christmas photo together and then the matching pajamas type thing?
I don't think we were a big photo family.
Okay.
No, I know my mom's always like, "Oh, we need a good Christmas picture photo." For Thanksgiving, we're like, "All right, let's just get a photo just so I can send cards out," and none of us want to take a picture. So
dads are always good at shooting those down. It's dad's job to shoot that down.
It's always my brother who doesn't want the picture. Why we gotta get a picture? Come on,
New Year's Eve or New Year's Day? Which of those holidays do you prefer?
New Year's Day.
New Year's Day. Yeah, I feel like most people when they're younger prefer New Year's Eve.
Yeah,
now I could give or take New Year's Eve.
Honestly, they're the same. I don't really care.
Adam's more mature.
Christmas is more of the question. I feel like we're Eve and Day. But.
Yeah. What's your favorite holiday overall?
I think Thanksgiving. Just all the really good food. Big food guy. Back to the food. Yeah, that'd be mine as well. Zach, yours?
Christmas or with my in-laws, 4th of July is really fun.
4th of July?
Yeah.
Okay. This question is in honor of Zam Plant from a press conference last week. How early is it too early to get up and shovel snow?
It's probably better to just shovel a little bit here and there, and then so you don't have to shovel it all at once. So I'm not going to criticize how early he's getting up to shovel.
None of you are complaining that Zam gets up and shovels for all of you guys.
Yeah, we appreciate it.
Is he one of those guys? I often yell at my wife for this. Is I want to try and clear the driveway before she drives over the snow and gets tracks stuck on there. Does Zam if one of you guys is an early class? Does he let you drive over the snow, or is he? Nope, you got to let me shovel before you can drive over it.
I haven't experienced that yet.
Okay.
Yeah, because I think the first time it snowed, it was. Forget what day it was, but I left right before that, so for Thanksgiving. So I haven't experienced Zam and shoveling yet. Just heard about it.
just heard that, but you're thankful for him to get up and take care of it for all of you guys. You live with 2 plant brothers now. Would you ever consider living with 3 at the same time?
Yeah, that would be very hectic. I'm sure a lot of fights maybe.
for the pure entertainment value.
Yeah, great entertainment.
If you guys all came back next year, you'd let Victor into the house there, huh?
Well, he's got to live at Oakland, I'm sure, but
everyone has to experience Oakland for at least one season, right?
Yeah.
Okay. This is our audiences love this question. Who on the team has the best nickname? Who has the worst?
I know Garns one day, our equipment manager, he came in and called Guyan the Slovakian princess. So that's been sticking a little bit. I don't know. That, or I always like calling Shog just Sugar baby. That's a good one. Worst one? I don't know. I'm not really sure.
Slovakian princess. That's harsh, Garnsey.
Yeah. You want some new gear?
He's always asking for stuff. Yeah. But I mean, as a goalie,
that's goalies.
You need more gear, so it's a little bit different.
That's goalies there. Why do D pairings? This all of a sudden popped in my question. Why do D pairings not have nicknames?
I don't know. I mean, do forward lines have nicknames, I guess?
Oh, well, I think most of the fan base is obsessed with trying to give.
If you have a line like you guys do, then everybody tries to give them a nickname.
Yeah.
Right?
I feel like forward lines are more connected and D pairings are more interchangeable. So that's maybe why. I don't know. As a fan, you probably see like the forwards who are out there and who are scoring, and then the D are kind of just, I don't know, complimentary, and they're not like the focus, I guess. Maybe.
Pionk, Joey and Joey Pierce and Aaron Pionk. We can't come up with a nickname for those two, or Brady Cleveland and Graydon Seatman. You and Ty don't have a nickname together.
No.
I mean, we never came up with nicknames for like Nick Wolf and Scott Paranovich. Well, that would just be the odd couple for those two. But
the only nickname like line I can think of is like the CCM line at Michigan, right? With like Confer, and so. Yeah, that's kind of a good question, actually.
Yeah. All right, UMD fans, go ahead, come up with nicknames for the D pairings. We're going to wrap it up there. Adam, thank you so much for coming back on the podcast with us.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
You can find more episodes of the Bulldog Insider podcasts on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube, or wherever you get your podcasts. Like us, subscribe, and rate us. For more Bulldogs hockey coverage, visit DuluthNewsTribune.com/Bulldog Insider. Subscribe to gain access to all of our coverage all season long. Zach, as you correctly mentioned, we have one series.
One.
You got the schedule right. 1 week, one episode this season. One more series for the men. The women, they're already hitting international competition early here in mid-December. The men have the one more series at home against Arizona State. What's the TV schedule look like for that?
The trick this weekend will be getting to the rink on time on Saturday, because we got both games on for the weekend, and 7 o'clock Friday normal, but then 5 o'clock Saturday. So earlier.
Beat the Bentleyville traffic.
No, it's great. I just have to set an alarm that at 3 o'clock I have to be
to remind
leaving
yourself
my house, which is not normal. But 7 o'clock Friday, 5 o'clock Saturday.
And then, cut me off here if I'm wrong, the World Junior pre-tournament games are going to be on television as well.
Yeah, we'll have all three of those. So after UMD ends their first half, then it goes Friday, Sunday, Tuesday, Finland, Germany, and then Germany, U.S., and then Finland, U.S. We'll have all three of those games on My Nine as well.
Yeah, I believe December 19th, December 21st, and December 23rd at Amsoil Arena are those three games there.
Yep, and we're going to try our best not to let that Finland-Germany game turn into a comedy show of us. We're going to try our best, but I'm really looking forward to the U.S. games, because there's some guys on that team that I know and I can pronounce their last names, so I'm going to be excited for the Americans.
Zach's pronunciation skills are going to be put to the test.
I am going to try my best. I haven't seen the Finnish roster yet. I've seen the German one.
All right. Thanks, everyone, for watching. Thank you for listening. We'll catch you next week when we continue with our World Juniors preview with Max Plan.